It is week 73 and we are still busy with EconoChat. Let's talk business with Mr. Daniel Steinmann. We are talking about water. We are talking about rainfall. We are talking about how rainfall or water in general plays a role in the economy of Namibia specifically. And that is, of course, very important to have for Namibia being a dry country, being a desert country. Let me not say dry country, let me say desert country.
Arid is the word.
Also to say. But Mr. Daniel Steinmann, you did explain to us, the impact of water and also what role it plays in the economy, and also explaining to us about the El Nino. But of course, what can we expect in Namibia, say at least for the next 2 years?
Elizabeth, that's very easy. Mm-hmm. Because we live in an arid environment. The standard forecast is always dryness, if there is such a word. It's just varying degrees of how dry it is, I think what brought me onto this topic in the week, I was looking for a medium-range forecast. A medium-range forecast is typically a 3-month forecast.
Yeah.
And this is sort of the forecast horizon that you will find that most professional meteorologists are comfortable with. The moment you go 6 months out, the time frame is too long for one very simple reason, and that is that the summer is about 4 months and the winter is about 4 months, and then you've got autumn and spring in between. So they are comfortable in making predictions on the season, provided it's the same season. You only talk about summer or you only talk about winter, but they're very uncomfortable about making predictions for the transition from cold to warm, from winter to summer.
Yeah.
So I was looking for a reliable 3-month forecast for Namibia, and I hunted and hunted and hunted and Googled and Googled and Googled and looked at all my resources and called my friends, and you know what? There isn't any. I couldn't find one. And I've been doing this for 18 years, keeping an eye on the weather.
Yeah.
And I've got a whole bunch of resources, tools that I use, and information that I have access to. There is no medium-term forecast, climatological forecast for Namibia. And then eventually, the American government, they have a department, it's called the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. We simply call it NOAA.
Yeah.
And deep in one of their websites, hidden below layers and layers of data and statistics, I found what you call an ensemble. And there are 6 predictive patterns in that ensemble. And each one follows a different methodology, and it's like an algorithm. You use the computer and you say what if, and every time you say what if, it gives you a different answer, but you change the input variables. What if it's a very cold winter? What if is lots of oostveer at the coast? What if the wind at Luderitz is too strong or too weak? And it gives you a scenario. The computer generates a scenario based on the changing conditions that you sort of confront it with. And this gives you 6 predictive patterns. And if you combine the 6, it's like an average. You get this ensemble. And the ensemble is the overall picture. What I found is that the ensemble predicts normal to below normal rainfall season for Namibia for this year and for the first part of 2024, and this will continue until the winter of 2024, so for the next year. Then certain parts of the ensemble we call it the bias. What is the bias in your predictive model? Is it wetter or is it drier? The bias is definitely drier. So if you move on probability, and you say, the departure or point of departure is that it will be a normal year or slightly below normal, all the models indicated to me that it will be rather drier than wetter. Okay. So what it means from a policy point of view is that we have to take note of the fact now that food security in the rural areas, especially in the mango growing areas, may be under threat towards the end of the year, this year, and the beginning of 2024.
Okay. I hope that you will set up an appointment with the stakeholders so that they can listen to what you are saying, because a lot of times we actually sit with this problem, but no prevention, I can say, is being put into place.
Elsbeth, there's nothing you can do.
No, I'm not talking about the weather, but I'm talking about, providing,
yes, emergency food supply. That's very important.
And not wait for it to happen and then you want to, ask economists to sponsor something.
When you realize that households are without food, rural households, it's too late. You mustn't then start the truck and start looking for maize in other places in the world. Then it must be on the truck already. You must just go and deliver it.
Exactly. And I will not want to get into detail with that, Mr. Steinman. But thank you so much for coming through once again and talking about something that we didn't expect that we would ever talk when it comes to the economy of Namibia specifically. But also thank you to the loyal listeners for always keeping it locked to the Power Station Energy 100. And of course we will be back again next week with something interesting for you to talk about. So goodbye to everyone.